TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
What's going on? Welcome to Broseph Sports. It's a WWE podcast. We talk about NBA, talk about NFL, talk about college football, we talk about MLB. What's going on, everyone? So let's get into some rumors that have been circulating here. So the Dallas Cowboys are in some serious trouble here. They got 3 players that they need to extend or sign, one of them being CeeDee Lamb, who is holding out now in training camp, Dak Prescott, who's going to be a free agent after this season if he doesn't get a deal worked, Micah Parsons, who's also looking for an extension and some pay. See, he's under contract for this year, but next year, if they don't invoke his 5th-year option, he will be a free agent. Jerry Jones had came out and said, and this is like cryptic, okay? He said when he was younger and he couldn't afford things, or whatever it was, he said he couldn't afford something, he couldn't pay for it, and he just let it go. So if the Cowboys would have had signed Dak to this extension before free agency, they would have had roughly $20 million to work with, all right? And 2 players that come up to mind to help the Dallas Cowboys in this situation would have been Grover Stewart. They could have used him. They could have brought him in. Could have beefed up the defense line. He could have been that defensive tackle. All right. He would have paired up nicely with DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons. That didn't happen. Another person who they could have brought in could have helped their running game after losing Tony Pollard could have been Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry bought a house down there. Derrick Henry's familiar with the area. Derrick Henry wanted to be a Dallas Cowboy, and the Cowboys said no. So what did they do? They brought in Ezekiel Elliott. Do I think he's past the road? Yes, I do think he's past the road. I don't think he's the same Zeke that we saw 2 to 3 years ago when he was, at the helm of the Cowboys. So with that being said, I don't think the Cowboys can afford all 3 of these guys that I'm talking about. I don't think they can afford to have Dak, Lamb, and Parsons on the same roster. With the money situation in the hole that they're in right now, I wouldn't be surprised if Lamb is traded. I wouldn't be surprised if Parsons gets traded. Because you got to remember, Jerry's had plenty of times where he could have told Dak to hit the road, but he's time and time again has put all his chips in to Dak Prescott and said, "This is my quarterback. This is my guy." The man is 2-15 in the playoffs. Whole time in Dallas, he's only won 2 playoff games. He's like the spitting image of Kirk Cousins. All right. He's not solid in big games. He's a regular season quarterback. Why would I waste money time and time again on Dak Prescott? I could let him walk after this year, and if I'm the Cowboys, I draft Quinn Ewers out of Texas. Texas Longhorns kid, Ewers. I'm not going to continue to keep pouring money in to something that's not going to elevate the team. It hasn't been elevating the team. Nothing special has been happening. All right. Stephon Gilmore's no longer there. Mari Cooper's no longer there. Michael Gallup's no longer there. He retired. Van Der Esch is no longer there. The only move that made sense this offseason was them bringing in Eric Hendricks. Eric Hendricks is a wonderful player. He can rack up the tackles. He doesn't really get injured. He's a great pass covering linebacker. That made sense. But bringing in Ezekiel Elliott, that didn't do anything. They could have easily brought in Derrick Henry, and they could have brought in Grover Stewart. 2 guys that could have helped that team. Now, from what I'm hearing, then this is rumors and speculation. I don't know if this is gonna break the news yet, because I don't know if it's true or not. But there's rumors out there right now that Cowboys are looking at trading Micah Parsons to the Bears. I don't know what for. Could be picks. I don't know. But if I'm a Cowboys fan right now, it's pretty safe to say that the Cowboys are falling apart right now. Defense is already having a rough time with their new defense coordinator, Mike Zimmer. Micah Parsons went out and he had talked about this and expressed the frustrations on having Mike Zimmer a part of the team. And he's been with the team since February. Hasn't gone to any of the training camps. Hasn't really sat down and even met up with his defense. So it's like, this right here is my problem with the Dallas Cowboys organization. Jerry Jones is the only owner in the NFL who thinks it's his duty to also run GM shit with the organization. Your job as the owner. You need to hire somebody to be your GM. It's stupid that you want to put on this workload of being a GM when you don't know how to be a fucking GM. You don't know how to manage your money. You got all these big contracts, and whatever is not working, you just give them these lucrative deals and be like, oh well, here you go, don't leave me. Well, that's affecting your future. I mean, now that we're at 17 game seasons, they can't go 8-8 anymore. That was a big trend. These fuckers would go 8-8, either go 8-8 and miss the playoffs, or go 8-8 and be a wild card. And ladies and gentlemen, I guarantee you, if they let Dak walk in the free agency, they let him walk in go into free agency after this season, I can see Dak Prescott being a Vegas Raider. I could see it happening. They need a quarterback, and if I'm smart, and I don't think Jerry Jones is a bright guy. If I'm smart, I go out and I draft a quarterback. The wheels have fallen off with this whole Dak Prescott experience, and I think it's time to let go of the dead weight. Dak Prescott being one of them, uh, Zach Martin being the other, and I say you let go of DeMarcus Lawrence. Put your money into the young guys. Put your money into Micah Parsons. Put your money into CeeDee Lamb. Go out, get a new quarterback. Go out and get another edge rusher who's not over the hill DeMarcus Lawrence, and work on that offense and defensive line. You know, these big contracts that loom over teams, it hurts the team. Well, I mean, look at what the Bears had to do. Bears had to go and strip down their whole team because of these big contracts. The Chargers had to do it recently too. They lost a bunch of people as well. Now the only person that's really there is Justin Herbert. And I honestly think if CeeDee Lamb is to be traded, I could either see him going to the Baltimore Ravens. I could see that a possibility. I could see the Los Angeles Chargers being a possibility, and I could see the Los Angeles Rams being a possibility. Dallas has got to figure this out, and I honestly don't know if Jerry Jones is the answer. Now, Jerry Jones hasn't been present as of recently because he's dealing with a paternity trial. You heard it right. He's getting subpoenaed to court. So some chick is alleging that Jerry Jones is her father and that he had relations with her mother in the late 90s, and I think it was around 1998. So I think he countersued or something, and it got dismissed. So now we're prolonging this trial along, and at this point, it's like either you are the fucking father, dude, or she's looking for money or something. And if this doesn't get figured out, why don't we just go out and get fucking Maury? Maury can figure this out. Rest in peace to Jerry Springer. He's no longer here to really give us the real Jerry. But let's just bring in Maury and figure this out. Otherwise, let's get some real NFL lawyers, some NFL attorneys to fucking figure this out. Because there's a lot of shit going down in Dallas right now. And Jerry Jones is in deep shit right now. And this Dallas Cowboys organization's in deep shit right now. They got 3-star players that are looking to get paid, and they haven't signed a single one of them. Packers have signed players. Vikings have signed players. The Lions have signed players. I mean, don't you want to keep your stars happy? I mean, that's your logo, right? The star. You want to keep your stars happy. I mean, this is the only team that I know that doesn't even fucking hold training camp and practice within the Texas region. They're all the way out in fucking California right now, practicing and training. Jerry's so fucking caught up in this Hollywood bullshit that he wants the team more out there. At this point, sell the fucking team and be another California team. Because this experiment's not working in Dallas right now. You lose those 3 players. This Cowboys team will go 1-16. The last time they were really shitty, 1989, the Cowboys finished 1-15 and were at the bottom of the NFC East. If this happens and they happen to lose these 3 players, you're not going to see any Cowboy fans. All these bandwagon Cowboy fans are going to be gone. You're not going to hear about them. And a lot of these Homer Cowboy fans are going to be fucking quiet, or they're going to just be non-existent, ghost. You won't see them until the next season after free agency around NFL draft, or even after the draft. It's when you're going to fucking see them again, because they've been hyping their team up for so many years now that they don't think a situation like this can arise with their team. They don't think situations like this can happen to their team. So I'm hoping that it does happen so they can eat their words, because they don't think the situation that's happened with the Chargers and the Bears having to gut a team can happen to the Cowboys, because the Cowboys are America's team. I'm sorry. I'm a proud citizen of America, and never once have I said that the fucking Cowboys were my team. The only team that should be representing America is Team USA in the Olympics right now. I haven't been asked if Dallas is my team because it represents America. All this malarkey needs to stop. All right, us fans, true fans, know that there is no America's team. All right, there is America's game of the week. That does happen with matchups. Best teams play that they think are the best matchups for that week. That does happen. But even America has voted, and it's happened before where they've had it on TV where they have voted, is the Cowboys America's team, and America's like, fuck you, dude. So all these stupid Homer Cowboy fans, it's time that you come back down to reality, and it's time for you to face the music. You lose these 3 players, I ain't gonna hear of you. You ain't gonna be blabbing on about how America's this great place and the Cowboys are its team. None of that's gonna be happening. So either you guys stop being fucking cheap and you actually extend CD Lamb, because I have Cowboy fans all over in my newsfeed in my inbox telling me that they're not worried if they lose CD Lamb. They got Jalen Tolbert in the helms when, I'm sorry, this guy's been in the league for what, 3 years now, and he's still a nobody. He's still on the bottom of the depth chart as a wide receiver. He's not even good enough to be a wide receiver 3. And don't get me started on this fucking guy, Turbin. He's not worth a fuck either, in my opinion. He's another nobody. So really, if you really do lose CD Lamb, Braden Cooks ain't gonna be there for that long. I don't think he at the age that he's at, I don't think that he's gonna want to carry that payload and all that you're gonna be asking him to do if CD's gone. So, and yeah, Jalen Tolbert, drafted out of Southern Alabama University. Nobody's even relevance come out of that fucking school. So for you to sit here and tell me you think Jalen Tolbert's this best thing that's ever fucking happened since Michael Gallup, you're absolutely wrong. And I'm going to continue to tell Dallas Cowboy fans that they're high on fucking ice, and that they need to stop making ice in their fucking basement and thinking that they're this great super team when they're absolutely in the fucking doghouse right now, because you got 3 big star players that are about to either get tired of this shit because they're not getting any negotiations worked with these guys. So these guys are either going to walk into free agency or they're going to sit their ass on the bench all year. They're going to take that that fine for not playing, and they're going to force the Cowboys to trade them out of town. And when that happens, bye-bye. Right to the fucking basement. You're going to take that freight elevator all the way down until you can't go down any further. You're going to be right on the basement. You're going to be cuddling up with no heat with the New York Giants. Good job, Jerry Jones. Way to take over the franchise, make yourself the GM, and fuck the whole team. So you don't know what you're doing with the fucking salary cap. And let's not act like Ezekiel Elliott's this top 15, top 10 running back anymore, because let's be honest, he wasn't even the fucking number 1 running back in New England, which that happened to be Stevenson. So you think it was smart that you passed up on Derrick Henry for somebody who's losing tread off the tires fucking quicker than a fucking car that's getting pummeled by the fucking by the street salt in the winter? I don't think that was a smart move, bringing in Ezekiel Elliott. I think that you could have easily brought in Derrick Henry, and you could have had Grover Stewart had you extended Dak Prescott before free agency. Now that you haven't done that and you brought in Ezekiel Elliott at the end of free agency after bringing in Eric Hendricks on a 1-year deal, and you brought in Ezekiel Elliott, I believe that was a 1-year deal or a 2-year deal, whatever the fuck it was. You guys are fucked right now. Because the 3 guys that you need to fucking pay, you're not making any negotiations with. They're fucking pissed. And your defensive coordinator doesn't look like he gives a fuck about his defense because he's not communicating with them. He's not talking to them. They don't know what's fucking going on. So, congratulations, Dallas. And let's give you a round of applause because, you haven't been in the basement for so long, and I think you're up and you're due for a dwell in the basement. So this basement treat is for you. Guys think you're worth a fuck, but you can't beat San Fran and you can't beat Green Bay. That's just facts. You're a regular season team. You fucking choke in the wild card and you choke in the divisional round. I ain't got to say anything else because the facts are facts and it's out there. So you could be mad at me all you want, but truth's right out there. Go on Google, look up. You don't believe what I'm saying? Go up on Google and you can see for yourself, Cowboy fans. So maybe it's time that you need to issue a garage sale and just put the whole fucking team up for sale. That's what it's looking like to me. I mean, your fucking owner has the brain of fucking Joe Biden. He don't know what the fuck is going on. Okay? When's the last time that this dude has really sat here and actually fucking thought about, oh, maybe I shouldn't have signed Dak to an extension because he hasn't shown me anything. Maybe I shouldn't have gave Zeke all that money when he was a Cowboy before he left. Maybe I shouldn't have pissed off Amari Cooper and maybe he could have fucking stayed. I don't know. Maybe you should just stop being a fucking GM because you don't know what's going on, dude. It's simple as that. You guys are going to be going downhill because you guys cannot figure out the salary cap, and it's going to be hurting you because 3 guys that are stars want to get paid, and the Cowboys are refusing negotiations with them. Jerry Jones is refusing to talk to him about a contract extension. And I guarantee you Micah Parsons and CeeDee Lamb are probably going to be the first ones out the door. Because let's be honest, you can get more out of Lamb and Parsons than you can fucking Dak. Because there's a lot of teams out there who are loaded at quarterback, besides the fucking Raiders. Let's be honest here. So, best solution and the best option is if you want to get a lot for players, is putting Lamb up on the auction table and putting Parsons up on the auction table. If I'm the Cowboys, those are the fucking 2 guys that I'm looking to auction off. I mean, Jerry Jones must have lost a bet, or put all his money in the fucking cryptocurrency because this isn't really like the Cowboys because usually they're right there signing their fucking players to these atrocious fucking deals. So I'm a little bit, intrigued and fucking surprised that they didn't pull off some fucking boneheaded fucking idiot move and not sign anyone. That's really fucking news to me because Cowboy fans love to hype up Jerry. Oh, our owner, he knows what he knows what he's doing. Jerry's been in this situation before. We got 5 Super Bowls out of him. We had Jerry Johnson. I mean, we had Jimmy Johnson. Well, when the fuck was that? Yeah, the 90s? After you con your way into a fucking trade with the Minnesota Vikings for Herschel Walker because the ownership that we had at that time was absolutely fucking stupid and didn't know what the fuck they were doing? Yeah. Now look at you. After all them fucking guys retired, you guys haven't been able to fucking figure it out since. So how about you do the Vikings a favor, give us a nice round of applause and a fucking thank you for those titles, because without us, you wouldn't be shit either, buddy. So all you Cowboy fans can thank the Viking fans, give us a bow, because without that Herschel Walker trade, Dallas Cowboys wouldn't even be fucking relevant right now. They'd be down in the fucking dumps with the Lions and the Vikings. I'm just fucking being honest. So it's always gonna be fuck them boys, and it's always gonna be Skull Gang 365. Fuck them boys. Hate the Cowboys, and with everything that's going on with them right now, this is news to my blessed heart. It could have only happened to a team like the Cowboys. All that hypocrisy that they've been talking about lately, how their team is so great, and you know, every single year they've been saying, "Oh, D-Roy, we're going after the big six. We're going after the sixth one." Well, you're not going after the sixth one because the sixth one doesn't want you. And when I'm talking about the sixth one, I'm talking about the Lombardi Trophy, because the Lombardi Trophy is absolutely disgusted with Dallas. Doesn't want anything to fucking do with Dallas because the Lombardi Trophy is attracted to Kansas City right now. So all these Cowboys that are yep, until you can make it past the divisional round or the wild card fucking round, I don't want to hear anything about you chasing the fucking sixth title, because that's all the way over here, and you're all the way over here. It's out of arm's reach. Dak's not going to get you there, and as long as Jerry Jones is your fucking owner, it's not happening. And quite honestly, if we're gonna get on this subject, quite honestly, they should have dismembered this team 3 years ago. I would have did it. Soon as you got your fucking cheeks crammed in the fucking playoffs by the NFC's top dog, I'd have just fucking right after the end of the season, I'd have walked in, gave everybody a splint and said, "You're done. You get out of here. You're done." I'd have fucking mafia'd my fucking way around that locker room, giving people their fucking walking papers and said, "It's not working anymore. Better luck in the unemployment line," because this is an absolute fucking tragedy what's happening right now. Jerry Jones is holding this team hostage, and Dallas fans are just, oblivious to it all. Why is it every other team fan base knows what's going on because, they've had it happen to them or it's happened within their division, so they know how this works out. But it's the fucking Cowboy fans that are like, oh no, Jerry, like he's some fucking savior, like he walks on water. The guy's one more fucking fall away from a hospice and a fucking bedpan. This guy's so fucking strung out. He doesn't know what's going on. You really think he gives a fuck about this team? It's no longer the 90s anymore. They're no longer that fucking dynasty from the 90s, all right? It's done. It's not happening. So, Cowboy fans, you better think real long and hard about what's at stake right now for the Dallas Cowboys, because if you don't sign Micah Parsons, who's looking for that deal, you don't sign Dak Prescott, who's looking for that deal, or if he walks and Micah walks, or if you don't extend CD Lamb and say he gets traded or he walks, you guys are fucked. It's going to be 2-16. You're going to be in the basement. You're going to be cold and shivering, and you're going to be fucking snuggling up to the fucking Giants, aka the fucking midgets of New York. That's what's happening right now. Jerry Jones came out and said it himself. Encrypted code. When I couldn't afford something and I didn't have the money for it, I let it go. And this is when he was asked about Dak Prescott. Didn't even fucking say anything like a response talking about Dak. That's what he said to the response about Dak. What does that tell you? That's probably the same thing he's going to say about CD Lamb, and it's going to be the same thing he's going to say about Parsons. There's no way in fuck that they can afford these three high caliber players when they're so fucked right now in cap space because Jerry Jones is the only guy in the NFL who's an owner and a GM and hasn't had this whole fucking thing figured out because he wants to be the guy that is the only one that can make decisions for the Dallas Cowboys, and that's holding this team down. I think the Cowboys deserve better. I think the fans deserve better. I think it's time that Jerry Jones has to give up his GM rights, go out, find a GM that knows how to work the cap, that knows how to manage the finances of the team. Let him go back to being the owner and only doing owner shit. That's all he needs to be concerned about. Him handling day-to-day operations as a general manager as what's hurting the Dallas Cowboys right now. Your fucking your starting quarterback's about to be gone. Your starting wide receiver is about to be on his way out. And your fucking starting linebacker, who's an absolute fucking freak of a monster young edge, is about to be out his way too. So you're stupid enough to bring in Mike Zimmer as your defensive coordinator. Because you got to remember, he has a connection to Jerry Jones in the 90s. Because he coached up Deion Sanders in the 90s. So all of a sudden now, Jerry Jones is like, well, hey, we got Al Harris as our DB's coach. How about you come in as defense coordinator? And you think we can turn fucking shit into mud and we can build something? It's not even fucking happening. I think right now, Cowboys do absolute shit. Whole coaching staff gets fired. And as of right now on the coaching roster, that DB's coach, Al Harris, who I just talked about, is about to be the next head coach because he's assistant head coach. This team's going to look completely different once Al Harris is at helm of this team. I don't see Jerry Jones figuring this out. You know, I could see Mike McCarthy doing something because you got to remember after he got shit canned out of the Green Bay, this has really been his only opportunity outside of Green Bay. So I don't think that he's gonna want to fuck this up, so to speak. So you could see Mike McCarthy, former Packers head coach, and you could see Al Harris, former Packers cornerback, becoming I think could become the defense coordinator if Mike McCarthy doesn't get shit canned and Mike Zimmer gets shit canned. I just think in order to save this team right now, Jerry Jones, it needs to start with Jerry Jones. He needs to give up this whole GM fucking look because buddy, you're not a GM. You look like you're fucking 85. You look like fucking Hugh Hefner without the fucking mansion. You look like you fucking sleep at AT&T Stadium. I mean, those nice box office fucking seats you got up there isn't really doing you all that swell, right? Maybe it's because AT&T's getting fucking hacked left and right, and I don't know, you decided to fucking uh contribute AT&T and their shitty fucking service that's always getting hacked or always getting down by, power outages or solar flares or hacking. But on top of that, negligence that you chose to sponsor your fucking team. Not only that, but you decided to be a bonehead and make yourself GM, and now you're in these money troubles. Honestly, you ain't got nobody to blame but Jerry Jones. So when it's time for the Cowboys to let's say make a sale on this fucking team, and I'd say if Jerry loses this paternity trial, and let's just say that this is actually his daughter. Let's just say that this does turn out to be his daughter. I would absolutely lose it if she took every single fucking dime that Jerry Jones had and he was forced to fucking sell the team. Oh, Lord, please make this a possibility that this does happen to be his kid. It could only happen to a better team. So when I got Cowboys yipping and yapping left and right, telling me this is what's going to happen to their team, it's actually not what's happening with their team that concerns them because they're so high in the clouds on ice that fans like myself and fans like other fans are seeing this clear as day. Cowboys are falling apart. There's no more hope in Jerry's world. Jerry's world has been a shut down amusement park since 1997. At the end of the 96 season, nothing's blossoming from this fucking franchise anymore. we're at the dark days right now in this franchise. The clouds are overcasting over the stadium in Arlington, and nonstop rain. Fucking sky is gray. Everything's depressing now in Dallas. No miracles are working. The fucking time is up right now. There's no America's team. Okay? That's just a facade they like throwing out there. They think this is America's team. Dallas has never been America's team. How can you be America's team when you guys used to get your fucking teeth kicked in by the Pittsburgh Steelers? Get your teeth kicked in by the San Francisco 49ers. And you get your fucking teeth kicked in by the Green Bay Packers. How are you America's team? Explain this. Because as of right now, what this looks like to me, it looks like defamation of character. Guys are pretending to be something that you're not. Guys are wannabes. Guys are wannabes too. Okay. It's over. This whole run that you guys had is done. Your 5-ring limit is here. Stop fucking telling me year in, year out that, oh, D-Roy, the number 6 is coming home. Because number 6 isn't fucking coming. Number 6 doesn't want you. You're not the fucking Pittsburgh Steelers. You're not the New England Patriots. So let's just, Cowboy fans, let's just shut the fuck up about number 6. Because unless you're Drake, the 6 don't want you. So let's go back down to the reality here. How we start from scratch, you boot the old man out, or you sell the fucking team after the old man says fuck it, can't run things anymore, then you'd be better off. But I'm gonna come out here on this note, and I'm gonna say I don't see the Cowboys taking the division unless something happens where injuries pile up with the Philadelphia Eagles or injuries pile up with the Washington Commanders. I don't see them taking the division. I see the Eagles being a better team than them, and I can see the Commanders this year beating up on the Cowboys. The Commanders got good during the offseason, through free agency, and through the draft. What did the Cowboys do, ladies and gentlemen? Absolutely nothing. The Eagles did what the Eagles usually do. They made some moves. They got rid of some people. They're also working on getting healthy because they had injuries, and they had to make some changes to coaching staff. And the Cowboys brought in a fucking guy who's chasing Deion Sanders at Colorado College. He followed him to fucking Jackson State and followed him to Colorado. Now that fucking Jerry Jones, offered him something, he picks up the phone and says, "Yeah, I'll go back to Dallas." Mike, I think it's time that you come to a realization that, this might be your last NFL fucking job in the league, because depending on what Jerry does with these signings, and you really don't have anybody, whether that be due to money problems, injuries, you guys are going to be in the fucking basement. Because I guarantee you, without a quarterback and you're relying on the fucking defense to keep you in games, it's going to be in the basement. So it's fuck them boys. I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm fucking cheering up and down for this. It's amazing to see this happening to such a fucking obnoxious fan base like the Cowboys. Such fucking hype artists they are. Fucking hyping their team up every year, and Jerry just, shits the bed with shit like this. This has, just been on my mind for a long time. And after what I read this morning about how there's a possibility that Micah Parsons can be traded to the Chicago Bears, doesn't look like Jerry Jones has really got faith in this team anymore, so to speak. Maybe it's time to stop dipping in the pudding and sniffing the fucking sulfur, because its time is abrupt and it's coming to an end, and it's starting this season. Okay, it's before our very eyes right now, and you cow fuck fans need to come to realization about this. And like I said, stop smoking the ice with Jerry Jones, because it's over with and it's done. But in other news, now that this Cowboy news has been already discussed and put out there, Vikings had signed Christian Darrisaw to an amazing contract. We were, as a Viking fan, I was expecting Christian Darrisaw to be signed next year, but now I'm able to sleep at night knowing that my team was able to sign two of the best players on the roster to their extensions to keep them in my team's uniform through 2029. All right, and it just feels great knowing that I had two star players get signed, and I'm not worried about if they're gonna be up on the auction, or they're gonna be out on a limb somewhere else, because we're not the Dallas Cowboys, all right? Quasi was able to manage the money well. He was able to sign these guys to respectable deals because they earned it. So I'm just living it up as a Viking fan. I expect us to go uh 6-11 to 7-10. It's my prediction, because it's gonna be an off year. We're still trying to figure out the quarterback situation. So we have Sam Darnold as our starting quarterback, and we got JJ McCarthy out on the wing, because he's a rookie and he's going to be sitting. I'm all right with how things are looking, because we upgraded our defense this offseason after letting go some of these big contracts. So I'm all right with my team. I already know what's expected. I'm not worried about us this year. Okay? We're going to have money next year. We're going to have more money the next. So I'm not, going to bed shaking, shivering, fucking starting my fucking shorts like a Cowboy fan because doomsday has arrived for my team. No, that's not the case. I'm sleeping absolutely fantastic. So, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for sitting here and listening to this news break and listening to this information I was able to give you today on Broseph Sports about the Dallas Cowboys and their situation. Hope you guys have a blessed rest of your Sunday. I hope you guys have an amazing week. I'll be back here next Sunday. Look forward to seeing you. Let's go.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your sports news here first. The daily podcasts are Ken and Ken in the Morning, Lions Talk with Smoking Jeremy B, Wrestling Roundup, The Big Football Show, and more, Shield TV, Lions Villian Report, and Red Zone Range. The afternoon podcasts are Valhalla Hour, Broseph Sports, WCFL Dolphins Talk, The Cheap Seats, The Bodkin Show, Spirit of Detroit Podcast, and MManiacs. The nightly shows are Palace Hall Report, Frozen Tundra Network, Skull Gang 365, The Huddle Sports Network Open Mic, First and 10 with Foz, Main Event Football Show, Prime Sports World, The Man Cave, Prim and Proper Sports, Spitballing Podcast, Lions Fan Cave Chat, Puckett, 313 Den Podcast, The Guys Huddle Podcast, Shots from the Sideline, Let's Talk Sports, the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast, Off the Rails, and Detroit Lions News. Hope you like all the shows. Make sure you follow, like, share, subscribe, and comment.